Oh, cricky.
No!
Say Taiwanese.
What?
No, we're not talking about Hyrelius.
Look, we're not changing the name to that, okay? Like a podcast is sticking, and I think we're just gonna stick with that.
Well, yeah.
What episode are we on now?
We're on episode whatever.
Yeah.
I could swing whatever.
We're between the last episode and the next episode. How about that? We'll do
last effing episode of Sanchu.
Yeah, because that'll end.
Last time on Power Rangers Dino Thunder. Last time on Dragon Ball Z. Goku was being a fucking weeb yet again, and yet people were still comparing him to Superman. And I don't see why, but they're not giving Vegeta the credit that he deserves. Vegeta's a far more interesting character than Goku. Will Vegeta ever get the credit he has deserved? Find out next time on Dragon Ball GT.
Damn it!
God damn it, scriptwriter. GT is where Vegeta sucks the most. That wasn't too bad of a deep voice. Not a bad narrator voice.
That's why Bumble really loved him in the season.
Okay. So, I guess we're doing Kaiju today. Or, Monster.
Kaiju? Kai me.
We're talking about the Monsterverse +1.
So, there are, in fact, a total of only 2 movies in the Monsterverse. It's still more movies than the Dark Universe.
Snap! Damn,
wait, did I just snap and wipe out half of civilization and then wipe out another half of it?
No, you wiped it out, then you brought it back.
Okay, that's good. Wait, then that means most people just had a near-death experience just now.
Oops.
So you've gotta give me a minute because I can't remember what 2 movies are in the Monsterverse. It's just so hard to remember what we're building up to. I think it was.
It's almost like the third one comes out in a week.
I think it was Gamera and Pichu.
No, it was Love Simon.
What?
No, it was Gamera and Love Simon.
Love Simon, yes. Gamera and Love Simon.
Okay, I wish Gallore was in the Monsterverse. Love Simon I can do without in the Monsterverse.
Give it time. They'll eventually bring Simon into it.
Ow.
I don't...
They can have him getting stepped on by Gamera.
Probably.
Evil Gamera. And he has a Hitler mustache.
No, if they were to give a Hitler mustache to anyone, it would probably be to, like, Rodan or something.
Ghidorah. Imagine 3 Hitler mustaches.
No, 1 Hitler mustache, 1 Mussolini haircut, and 1 Tojo styling.
Someone make that a thing.
No, the ultimate axis.
It's fair. So, Godzilla was not very impressive on first run.
No, it was not, but we can appreciate what they did because they actually finally gave him his damn atomic breath.
I thought he always had his atomic breath.
We haven't seen a Godzilla movie in America that had atomic breath for a while. Because we do not count Zilla.
We're not even calling it Zilla anymore. We're just calling it 89.
98.
98. No, we're calling Batman 89.
I rewatched 98 not that long ago.
That's a lot of fish.
I rewatched all of these movies not that long ago.
That's a lot of flick.
Yes, it is. There's, not including next week's King of the Monsters, there are 34 movies in this series.
That's a lot of flicks.
When you count all Japanese movies, the 3 anime films, and the 2 American films.
That's a lot of nerd.
So I'm not including any of the fan films, of which there actually aren't that many because of Toho's stance on copyright. But
that's a lot of dork.
But would you count the Frankenhole episode?
No.
Oh.
Would you include all the cameos, or at least references, in Ben 10 Omniverse?
No.
Ducky Godzilla?
Rubber Ducky Godzilla. Oh! Rubber Ducky Godzilla. Oh!
No.
Oh. Although that would be pretty nice to have.
Rubber Ducky
I would
Godzilla.
love to have a Rubber Ducky Godzilla, but it doesn't. It apparently doesn't exist. So.
Toho, make it happen.
Yeah, they're making. Yeah, there's currently a ongoing merchandising push for Evangelion Cross Godzilla in Japan.
Also,
Don't I wish I lived there?
we're never gonna get Pacific Rim fighting Godzilla now. Thanks, Pacific Rim Uprising.
Thanks for sucking.
Thanks for trying to pull Pull an Amazing Spider-Man 2.
Yeah, you know, that movie almost made it into my top 10 worst last year.
Except,
It just barely missed out because I thought Bad Samaritan was just a little bit worse.
I honestly
So
thought the
Bad
fight
Samaritan was just a little bit worse and bad than Pacific Rim 2?
Yeah.
So Bad Samaritan was more bad than Pacific Rim 2.
I think he's trying to make a joke, but the way
But
he's
it's
wording
not working.
the way you're wording it, it just doesn't work. Because
I know.
I know. I'm sorry that you weren't able to do your joke, but it's just they gave you a glass half full.
It was more like half empty because fucking grammar.
Yeah, grammar is everyone's true enemy, but not Godzilla. His one true enemy was Bryan Cranston, or at least that's what we thought before we saw the movie.
Yeah, that's what the trailer tells us. Okay.
Godzilla, we need to cook.
So, I guess my background with Godzilla, I love this series. Like, a lot.
Godzilla is what Godzilla for him is what Power Rangers was for me, and I guess either Pokemon or Doctor Who was for you.
Pokemon.
Pokemon was for you.
I mean, for me, Pokemon was like my first 6 years. I was like really, really big into it. But then I think part of it was I didn't really get a GBA on time, so I didn't get to play Gen 3. And then I just kind of fell off the show. And then like year 7 to basically now, it's been Godzilla.
You know what the sad thing is? I actually did have a Game Boy Advance like when I was young when it came out. I just never had any Pokemon games. So, had my mother chosen to, or someone that
Chosen to give you good games.
had chosen to give me a Pokemon game, I might actually be more into that franchise. Besides, I played good games. I still gotta find another copy of that Legend of Tarzan game. That was fucking shit awesome.
I don't think you know what you were trying to say.
I was trying to say it was the shit, but I skipped a word. But yeah, for me it's the same thing, except Power Rangers was my thing, and you resented Power Rangers for the longest time.
Oh man, did I resent Power Rangers.
So you had an angry video game nerd moment in your life with Power Rangers.
Not really.
Not really, because I always knew about the monster and all monster stuff and all that. No, let me explain it. The reason I had this huge thing, well, with the exception of Dino Thunder, which I actually liked. Anytime I'd bring up Godzilla, which in school, which all the other kids thought I was talking about '98. Which is one of the reasons I absolutely hate that movie.
Yeah, that's what that generation grew up with, except you.
Like, they would bully me, like, hardcore about liking Godzilla. And then they'd go home, come back the next day, and talk to each other about Power Rangers.
Yeah, and that's why he hated it. The difference was that with Angry Video Game Nerd, he wanted to get into it, but he was too young.
Too old.
Too old, yeah. Tyler just hated it because he thought the people who watched that and beat him up for Godzilla were fucking hypocrites.
Disgustingly hypocritical, because they talk about how that's awesome. Yet, I mean, obviously I've lightened up on Power Rangers now.
Yeah, you're nowhere near our level, but you've seen a couple of the seasons through.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of seasons, so I think it's fairly good. I've got some problems with, like, writing, but that was to be expected.
Well, yeah, they're working with basically 2 shows. One from Japan and whatever they're making in America. Yeah, we will probably dedicate a podcast to...
That'll probably be a thing. After I watch more seasons, probably.
Well, if not that, then just with me and Tristan, because we have shit to say about Beast Morphers.
Yeah, but even even knowing about all the monster stuff, and even hearing them talk about how awesome Power Rangers was, so anytime I look at it, it's like, compared to what I'm watching, this is way more silly, campy, and childish.
Yeah, it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I get that now, but it's like, I'm watching the more badass stuff here, and yet, no, you're gonna talk to me about how I'm a dork, an idiot. You're gonna beat me up for it, but you guys get to talk about something that's clearly sillier. It's like, no thanks.
Yeah, he had real issues with what was this, Farallon? That was most likely it.
Farallon, yes.
Yeah. From middle school on, people actually started to act somewhat smarter.
Maybe for you.
Well, yeah.
No, my middle school experience was horrible, but it had nothing to do with Godzilla. By that time, I just stopped talking to people about it.
Yeah.
I didn't know anybody else was a Godzilla fan except for my brother until I started getting on the internet more.
Yeah. My middle school experience was somewhat decent after an incident that I've told you guys about loads of time. No one chose to, bother me again, because since I was the good student, the teachers and the principal actually liked me, unlike them. Because it's almost like if you do good in school, people will respect you who run the place.
Yeah, that's teachers like me.
Yeah, it's like prison. If you're a good model inmate, the guards will actually like you.
Pretty much.
Yeah, don't be an asshole.
Yeah. But let's get back on track. So
So
I love the fact that Aaron Johnson, is that his name? Yeah, that Aaron Johnson...
let me finish my story.
Oh, I thought we were moving on.
No, I'm still on my story.
Okay.
I'm about to talk about when this movie was announced.
Yeah, you, was it you who dragged me to that?
Yes, it was me who dragged you to that movie.
Yeah, you dragged me to that thing, man.
Yeah, no, just when it was announced, this probably... Until Comic-Con of last year, this was easily my most hyped movie ever.
King of Monsters.
Yeah, King of Monsters is taking that title.
Yeah.
But,
yeah, don't even get started with Aladdin. That piece of shit.
don't wait for me to talk about how mad I am about that. We'll talk about that probably.
See it first.
Yeah, we'll talk about my problems with just the release schedule at the end of this.
Because wasn't it supposed to get released yesterday originally?
It did.
No, I was talking about King of Monsters.
No, King of the Monsters was supposed to get released in March. But I think they pushed it back to keep it from having competition with Captain Marvel, probably.
That's retarded.
Well, they were right to do so because that movie made a ton of money.
And don't get me started on my problems with Captain Marvel.
I mean...
It's like then they moved it back to the end of May, and originally I was like, no, Avengers Endgame comes out that month, and then they pushed that over a week, and I was like, oh, thank God. And then Aladdin got announced that it was coming out the week before.
And you were like, fuck!
Yeah, and then I got super mad. Then I realized that Dark Phoenix comes out the week after, and while I don't think Dark Phoenix is going to make any money...
Which, we're going to see Dark Phoenix, and then we'll just go through the X-Men movies when we do that podcast.
So then I was angry, but yeah, 2014 at the time was my most hyped movie. I was super excited, and I came out of that theater and I loved it.
What else?
I've mellowed out about it since, but I loved it in 2014.
What else? Yeah, Winter Soldier came out in 2014.
Yeah, Winter Soldier came out in 2014. Guardians of the Galaxy came out in 2014.
Yeah, that's what I was actually
Days
going
of
to...
Future Past.
Yeah, Days of Future Past came out in 2014.
That's actually what
I think that came out like the same month, like within like the next week.
It did.
So basically, Dark Phoenix is doing the same thing.
That's actually what I wanted to was going to mention, that I find it hilarious that Aaron Johnson and Scarlet Witch, her actress.
Yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah, Aaron Taylor Johnson and Scarlet Witch, her actress. They were brother and sister in Age of Ultron, and then in Godzilla they were fucking husband and wife. So
yeah, the year right before.
Yeah, that was hilarious.
Yeah, especially in hindsight.
Yeah, hindsight-wise, it's definitely something. Yeah, I'm popping popcorn because I'm hungry. Also, we're talking movies, so why the hell not?
The usual, like a podcast standard. We ramble, we make food, we drink stuff, and we talk.
Yep. And hopefully someone doesn't get attacked this time.
Well, you seem a bit more mellow today.
Honestly, we should probably just stop doing that in general. It's not funny when it's not on camera.
Yeah.
No, it's funny in hindsight, though.
It's funny to us because we're standing here.
Yeah, but I think you're more mellowed out, and Tyler's still got his back pain right now, and I'm hyped up, so I'm probably just not going to do it.
Yeah, so let's talk about but before we talk about the awesome stuff in the movie, let's talk about the less awesome stuff.
The humans?
Yeah, let's talk about the humans.
You mean the main focus of the movie?
Yes.
We will be his pet.
No, that's King of the Monsters.
Oh, we're still talking about 2014.
Yeah, we're still talking about 2014. We're not gonna talk about King of the Monsters until next weekend.
And then he became a detective of a snubble.
And then he went back to looking for Godzilla.
So I fucked
Plot
up.
twist is not a kaiju. It's actually a giant ass Tyrannosaur.
It's still a kaiju.
So I fucked up. It's a little more well done, but it's not all the way burnt. So it's still edible.
That's kind of how I like my popcorn.
Where were we with this? Still on God 2014?
Yeah, we're going to be on 2014 for a while, apparently, because we still got a bunch of stuff to talk about.
Right.
Because we barely talked about the movie at all so far.
Yeah, Bryan Cranston.
Yeah, let's talk about humans first. Bryan Cranston.
Barely in the movie.
Best human character in the movie, though.
20 minutes in?
3, I'd say.
Yeah, because wasn't there like it's been a while since I've seen the movie, but wasn't there like a stock footage type situation for like the title sequence?
Yeah.
Testing the nuclear
I mean, it wasn't
bomb.
real stock footage, but it was... I mean, some of it might have been.
But yeah, they were testing the atom bomb or nuclear bomb, and then Godzilla eventually doesn't show his face until like
Later on.
an hour into the movie. We see him, but we don't see his face.
Yes, but, okay, let's talk about the first act of this movie is actually really good. Just the build-up.
Yeah.
The build-up is
all the stuff
fine.
with Bryan Cranston, him losing his wife in the nuclear meltdown,
Yeah.
the Muto breaking out of its, I guess, cocoon is what that is.
Was there a name for those two monsters?
Muto.
Muto.
So they're both called Muto?
Yes, I cannot remember exactly what that stands for.
How about we call one Mu and the other one Toe?
Okay, we'll call the big one Moo, and we'll call the small one Toe.
Yeah.
So Toe breaks out of the cocoon-like thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Toe breaks out,
Yeah, like,
and Bryan
that's
Cranston
great.
dies.
And then Bryan Cranston dies.
Yep.
Then the movie just kind of slows down on the human part.
Oh, what's his name? He was in Detective Pikachu.
Ken Watanabe.
Ken Watanabe.
The other best human character in the movie.
Yep.
Yep. I think the only other guy following over into King of the Monsters, I think.
Oh, yeah, him and his assistant.
Yeah. I'm definitely looking forward to seeing, hopefully, more of them.
Damn.
Because in the trailer, you see him, like, touching Godzilla's face.
Snoop.
Yeah.
He's like, wake up, my son. Wake up.
Did you have a Snoop?
You must fight.
You must fight.
Yeah, let them fight.
He's still the best line in that movie.
It's like that whole first sequence is great. Then the second act of this movie is... bleh.
I was so bored during the middle mark.
Yeah. There are highlights.
And, like, the soldiers, like, paradiving.
That's the climax.
Okay, then how about the soldiers, like, trying not to get spotted by Moo and Toe?
Yeah. Like, any stuff in the middle that had the monsters in it was cool.
Like when Godzilla finally showed his
When
face.
Godzilla comes up shore, and when he
Stomp.
stomp,
And then we see the entire fight on TV.
No, and then the fight happens off screen.
Why?
Because it's part of it's like it's that Jaws mentality of filmmaking. Don't get the monster too much. Save a lot of it for like the climax, which I would be fine with that. Here's my biggest problem with this movie.
It's a giant lizard.
No, the movie's called Godzilla. Godzilla's not the main focus of the movie.
Oh, you mean like the first Transformers movie was focusing on the dumbass human characters and it was guest starring Transformers.
You mean that's all the Transformers movies?
Let me give it another example. Shin Godzilla, which came out 2 years after this movie. I swear Godzilla has less screen time in that movie than he does in 2014. Here's the big difference. That movie is 100% about Godzilla. It's about Japan realizing that he's a threat, not being able to deal with it, and then having to figure out how we're going to get through this.
Yeah. Good insurance.
Yeah, this movie is about the Mutos.
Yeah, try not to bang on the table too much, because that would be shaking the audio equipment.
Sorry. But, that's my biggest problem with the movie.
I know that too when I first watched it.
They should have called the movie Muto.
No, they could have. They should have called the movie Ford. Featuring some monsters.
Featuring Godzilla.
And he's not Kick-Ass.
No, he's not.
No, he's Ford.
He is not Quicksilver either.
Yeah, speaking of that, I don't hate the main character.
I like Aaron Taylor Johnson fine.
There's that one scene at the very beginning of the movie when he's with his family, and I'm like, okay, I can get behind him wanting to get back to his family for the rest of the movie.
Except he's kind of actively not doing that.
No, he's trying to, but he's also got other shit that's going on. But my only real problem is they don't really give him anything interesting to do.
He's a bomb disposal guy, and they don't really do much with that until the end of the movie.
Yeah, until the climax, which we'll get to. Reprisal. But
Giggity.
Giggity.
Continue.
It's like anytime there's really no monsters there, or they're not talking about the monsters too much, it gets a bit stale. I still think it's a lot better than a lot of than several Japanese Godzilla movies. Like, this is still in my top half of Godzilla movies. It's just not in my top 10. And I'll explain why it's still in my top half in a little
Maybe top 20.
Oh, it's definitely in my top 20. There's, again, top half would end after number 17. So.
Alright. So we know it's number 17.
It's at least number 17. I'd say it's probably closer to number 13, 14.
And the popcorn is gone. That's what happens when you talk movie. You want popcorn.
It's like, I'm okay with human characters not getting too much to do in Godzilla movies. I'm used to that.
But as long as they're interesting.
Most of the time they're not interesting at all, and yet the movie's so good. I would not call any of the characters in Godzilla vs. Mothra interesting, but that is still a top 10 Godzilla movie.
Yeah, that's fine. And I honestly didn't have that much of an issue, because I guess it is the Jaws mentality, because when we were second half of the movie after Godzilla shows up, and they're going through the aftermath of that battle, it's just they're building up the big clash at the end, because we see Godzilla swimming through waters. People are trying to track him, but he keeps getting away. And
yeah, we get the small little scene of the Golden Gate Bridge, which is actually cool.
Yeah, and
we get to see the aftermath of some of the damages the Mutos are doing alone.
Yeah, which I kind of still wish we got to see those rampages a bit, because that's just a staple Godzilla thing. Is always get the city destruction rampage.
Yeah, well, Rampage wasn't that great of a movie.
So, in this case, there were monsters on the Muto. Well, at least Toe was a monster born in Japan that was making a beeline for the American coast.
Yeah, around...
It's subversive!
I think it was
It broke new ground!
Pretty sure it was San Francisco or Los Angeles, somewhere around
San Francisco, San Diego, somewhere around there.
Somewhere around the fault line.
So basically around this point it's saying hey, guys. What if we go this way? this time.
Yeah, and I guess another gripe I have with the movie is the Mutos aren't the most interesting.
They were actually kind of boring to me.
Yeah, they're not the most... Design-wise, they remind me a bit too much of Clover.
You know what the sad thing is?
So that's what it reminded me of.
You know what one of the sad things is? I'm pretty sure I drew something that looked just like that in grade school.
Did you throw away the art?
Yes.
Well, now I don't even know where it went.
Apparently, someone was dumpster diving for art.
Yeah, I went to Gareth Edwards. I mean, they were okay as monsters that were there for Godzilla to fight.
You also reminds me of the flesh ganger monster at the end of one of the series 6 episodes of Doctor Who. Remember when the almost people and that one started mutating into like the tip-toed monster?
Yeah.
That's what kind of reminded me of in the front too.
You know,
is everyone just stealing from Cloverfield at this point?
Well, not only that, but also if you look at it the right way, it kind of also looks like Kabutops. Kabuto evolves to Kabutops, right? Am I getting
Yes, it does look like Kabutops.
Oh! So it's the Cloverfield monster that got banged by a Kabutops.
That, or Kabutops got away from its Pokemon trainer and it got infected with radiation.
Yeah, that radiation.
And it caused it to grow.
And somehow it was able to do EMP blasts.
Or Rita Repulsa threw her magic wand at the Kabutops and made it grow. Or Bandora. I think that's her name in the Sentai.
Yes.
I think we're going to go with your radiation idea because just about every single Pokemon can learn Hyper Beam. And what is that? Nothing but a glorified Hyper Beam.
Godzilla, use Hyper Beam.
That explains why Ken Watanabe was in Detective Pikachu.
It all connects.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe we connected all this shit.
And they're both by Legendary Pictures.
Half-Life 3 confirmed.
Yes!
Oh, God. So does that mean we are right in that Godzilla in this movie is a mutated Tyranitar? Because Tyranitar can learn Surf.
If anything, Godzilla in this movie is essentially Gamera and the Heisei films.
Yeah,
Okay, my gripes are kind of over. So let's talk about the things that are actually good in this movie.
The climax?
The monster fight?
Well, first, while I'm not the biggest fan of most of the human characters, they're serviceable enough. The actual plot of this movie is actually really good.
What, like
the idea of the world is, essentially fine. It's in peace. Like, we don't know about giant monsters. It's okay. And then all of a sudden, like, several just show up. And how does the world react to that?
Like, shit.
Holy shit, call the Coast Guard!
You don't need more than the Coast Guard.
Hey, Sergeant Jack Skeeter!
It's like, if nothing else, this movie has a better overall plot and plot structure than the next movie we're going to talk about.
Yeah.
But,
let's finish that first, though.
Yeah, and the other stuff, the monsters, specifically Godzilla, when they're on screen.
I think Godzilla looked great.
Godzilla's awesome in this movie. I mean, some people don't like the design. They think it's too chubby. Or they thought the feet... Because Godzilla fans are super nitpicky.
Speaking of nitpicking, again, watch the table.
Yeah. Like, some people didn't like he thought he was a bit too chubby.
I thought he always looked like that.
They actually slimmed him down a bit in the new one. And he looks a bit more... And then some people didn't like the feet because they had little stubby brontosaurus toes. They also fixed that in the new one. And then some people didn't like the spines. They were a bit... Because they're not really supposed to be spines. They're more, spikes coming out of his back. They're more dorsal fins, which, again, they fixed that in the new one. They just took the 54 Godzilla, plastered that onto him.
Okay, so basically when everyone kept on bitching about the way he looked, they decided to make Godzilla evolve. Again, further proof that he's a Pokemon!
He's also bigger by about 50 feet.
Yeah.
Mothra!
Oh, God! I just killed Mothra!
No! Wait a minute. Oh, crap, he called Dustox, which then became Mothra!
Oh, my gosh. Let's just move on.
Yeah, The biggest... because I was fairly quiet in this movie because I just had a big smile on my face, but we saw it.
Yeah, you complete nerd.
But the closest I came to cheering was when the spine started glowing.
I was just about to cheer for that, actually, when I first saw it.
Because, I mean, I kind of assumed whenever all the press and everything was saying, oh yeah, we're going to... Oh, hi, Elvis.
Hi, Pupper.
Yes, we have a dog with us. He is very shy, but when he comes out, we will acknowledge him. So yeah, atomic breath for
Yeah,
the
because
win.
when
I killed another one. Another Mothra is gone.
yeah, the press never mentioned anything about the atomic breath. I had kind of assumed, because they were all talking about how this was going to bring him, give him justice, unlike the '98 film, and the '98 film did not have atomic breath.
No.
Because they wanted to make him realistic, even though he burrows underground and doesn't make any earth tremors. But
yeah, besides...
yeah, I found a million more plot holes in that movie in my recent rewatch.
Yeah, and then you were going to end up watching the Godzilla animated series.
Which is way better. That's the best part of that movie. I actually like that animated series. But...
Ow.
It's like the moment that atomic breath went off, I just about got out of my seat and was like, yes! Yes!
Yeah.
Like the second time I saw this movie, which I saw this movie like 4 times in theaters, but
I bet you did.
I saw somebody just like in the seats below me, like quietly going, yes! Yes! At the atomic breath.
You were basically Bruce Campbell in Army of Darkness going, yeah, baby!
Correct.
Yeah.
And then, of course, my absolute favorite kill in any Godzilla movie.
Yeah, he basically pours it down his throat.
Yeah, just like... She just takes takes Moo's jaw, opens it up, just atomic breaths down its throat, tears its head off.
You know that actually...
It's the most badass thing I've ever seen.
That actually reminded me a bit when he did that. It reminded me of Peter Jackson's King Kong when he was fighting the T-Rex, and he just, like, ripped its jaws open and broke it. So, maybe there was a bit of inspiration there, too?
Maybe. Because it's not like you can't say that Godzilla took no inspiration from Kong.
And Kong took no inspiration from Godzilla.
Well, we're about to talk about that.
Exactly my point. Who's a good Elvis? Good.
It's like that climax of that movie is so good. It just so happens that the middle section is just a bit eh.
So basically it's the nostalgia critic's problem with Jurassic World. He likes the beginning and the end, but he thinks that the middle is boring.
I like the entirety of the first Jurassic World.
Yeah.
I went in expecting monster movie, and that's what I got.
Basically, that is exactly what you got. I'm gonna alter this a little bit. Continue, don't mind.
Oh, we want to have that up here the whole time.
Yes, we're going to basically just continue from here. Are we just gonna move on to Kong now?
In a minute. I think the movie's really good. It opened, basically Pacific Rim, like...
Oh, yeah, Pacific Rim came out that year, too.
Came out the year before.
Oh, right, 2015.
And in terms of, like, the modern kaiju movies, Pacific Rim tried to open the door. I mean, it, unfortunately, due to box office numbers, it didn't quite get there.
Not to mention they were
Whereas, Godzilla did open the door.
Uh-huh.
It got good money. It led us to the new, somewhat kaiju boom we're getting with movies like Jurassic World.
Fallen Kingdom.
I don't want to talk about Fallen Kingdom.
Pacific Rim Uprising.
I don't want to talk about Pacific Rim Uprising, but...
The Mummy.
That's not a kaiju film.
No, but they would have probably found
No, they were gonna make that. They were gonna make that movie anyway.
That's true.
Yeah, I'm talking about things like Rampage, I guess.
Rampage. We're not going to talk about Rampage. If you guys watch
the last act of Power Rangers.
That's a staple for Power Rangers in general, though.
Yeah.
Yes, but we wouldn't have that without Godzilla.
I don't know.
Yes.
Actually, you wouldn't have.
Really?
Because
Godzilla came out in 1954.
Power Rangers is based off Super Sentai, which was
1975.
came from.
I thought that was 1960.
No, 1975 is when the first one came out with Kinesis Sentai Go Ranger.
Yeah, it came from Sentai, which spun off from ideas from stuff like the Toei Spider-Man, and Ultraman, Ultraman was the brainchild.
Actually, the Toei Spider-Man came out 3 years afterwards, after Go Ranger.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, the giant monster part.
Yeah, that was ahead of the time
because Toei Spider-Man, but
yeah, the Toei.
But everything came from Ultraman, which was the brainchild of Eiji Tsuburaya, who was the special effects and essentially the father of Godzilla.
So I bet you can say proudly that the people who made fun of you in school wouldn't have their TV show without yours.
Yeah, without my movies. No Eiji Tsuburaya, no Power Rangers. But back to what I was saying, if Godzilla opened the door, Kong Skull Island kicked it in. Kicked it off the hinges.
It had a huge enough foot in order to do so.
So, and basically, Godzilla was like, "Roar," and Kong was like, somebody once told me the world was gonna roll me. I ain't the sharpest Kong in the shed. Yeah.
So I guess welcome to Entertainment Online Shits on Brie Larson Volume 2. Because Brie Larson's in this movie.
Technically, it would be Volume 2 because we started disliking her in Captain Marvel. So yeah, fuck Brie Larson. Brie Larson's a fucking bitch. She thinks she's better than everyone else, and the fact that she got paid way more than Chris Hemsworth, Robert Downey Jr., and Thor all together from their all of them.
You mean RDJ?
Yes.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yes.
Chris Evans.
Yes.
Yep. And they're starting movies.
All combined.
Wage gap my ass.
Yeah, I flipped a fucking table when I heard that news.
He really did.
Yes.
I made more money than Scarlett Johansson is probably making with Black Widow.
Yeah. And she thinks she's hot shit, but the Russo brothers didn't even want you in Endgame, so there!
You're non-having ass.
Right. Tom Holland still has more of an ass than you fucking bitch. See? Even Elvis agrees that he hates Brie Larson.
No, speaking of Tom, it's like my brother and I have this joke that the only reason Loki really died in Infinity War was because he heard Brie Larson was gonna... Because Tom Hiddleston heard Brie Larson was gonna be in Endgame. And he was like, no, I've worked with her before in Kong Skull Island. So I gotta get out of here.
No. This is what happened. This is what really happened right here. Loki faked his death. So he goes slide right out of the ventilation shaft and then head over to DC. That way he can cast a Sandman.
Popcorn won't hurt dogs. Well, he just grabbed a piece.
I don't think so.
I don't think so.
Well,
and then one's not gonna do anything.
Yeah.
My dogs will get into chocolate. Okay.
That's not good.
No, it's not good, but they still do it.
And they still live, so I'm pretty sure he'll be fine.
Crazy dogs.
Yeah. Bonkers. Think they'll make something called Dogzilla?
There's a real little book about that.
Yeah, there's a kid's book called Godzilla.
And it's called Clifford.
No, there's actually a kid's book that used photos
of a corgi.
Of a corgi and mice as the people.
Wow.
There's also a cat Kong that used the cat for King Kong.
Cat Kong?
Yes.
Yep.
Wow. Okay then. So anyway, back to hating on Brie Larson. You're fucking suck in this movie.
She's not that bad in this movie.
Well, we
no,
hate
she's
her.
not actually.
Well, we hate her.
She's just not
I
very.
don't like Brie Larson. But...
She's not very special in this movie.
I'm not gonna act like she hasn't done good work. Like, Room is really good.
She's really basic in this movie, though.
She's very...
Here's the
human characters are really basic.
Yeah, the problem I have with this movie is that the human characters... part of me would say that they're a little more fun than Godzilla's. I mean, nobody in this movie is nearly as interesting as Bryan Cranston was for his 20 minutes of screen time.
Well, maybe Sam Jackson's insanity is the most entertaining part with the human characters.
Yeah, but it's like the most interesting... The best human characters in this movie are Samuel L. Jackson...
Tom Hiddleston.
Tom Hiddleston...
No, John C. Reilly.
Tom Hiddleston's really good. Yeah, John C. Reilly was great in this movie.
And, John Goodman.
Unfortunately, John Goodman... dies. He gets eaten by a monster that looks like a cross between Cubone and the Third Angel.
How many times are there going to have Pokemon in this?
A good number of times.
In all fairness, this one actually was based off of a mixed... The
Cubone and the Third Angel?
Yeah, Cubone and the Third Angel from Evangelion.
They acknowledged that, didn't they?
Yeah, that's what Jordan Vogt Roberts said he did.
So
there's a lot of anime and video game references in this movie.
So they've been playing Detective Pikachu for years then.
Well, we're definitely getting those sequels with how much money Detective Pikachu's made.
Apparently, it's a second world international top movie being out in game again for a second week in a row.
Way to go, Detective Pikachu.
So, but that being said, would King Kong be a mutated Slaking? A giant mutated Slaking?
Maybe.
Yeah,
except Slakings are slow.
Well, not only that, but I think appearance-wise, the Slaking would be more George in Rampage. But we're not talking about Rampage.
No, we're not.
No, and we will never talk about Rampage.
Never say never.
Oh no, we might talk about it when we're just talking about random stuff.
Or when we decide to tackle Dwayne Johnson movies.
Trust me, we'll probably come back to Godzilla a lot.
He's on an island.
In the future.
He's on an island. He's a great ape. He's a mutated Oranguru.
Huh. Well, maybe.
Because it's basically a tropical island.
Anyway, I guess since we're talking about Kong, because there's no point in talking about the human characters. They're kind of useless in this movie.
Kong's a fucking baby in this? He's like a little child?
He's still a kid in this movie, because he's supposed to grow to at least somewhat Godzilla size.
He's not Godzilla-sized in this?
No, he was only like 150 feet.
Oh, only 150 feet?
Godzilla's like 340 feet in the 2014 movie. And he's like 393 feet in the new one.
Where were we after the, growth? Oh, yes.
The octopus.
He ate an octopus.
Yeah, Kong ate an octopus, which is... Yeah, that
whole... It was huge.
Yeah, that whole scene is in reference to...
The original?
To King Kong versus Godzilla. Where the first time you see Kong, he fights a giant octopus that's attacking a woman and her kid. And apparently Subaraya ate that.
Well, I don't really blame him. You know how expensive sashimi could be?
The many jokes I could make based off that when Kong ate that squid.
Yeah. At least it was him eating the squid and not the other way around. The fisherman's wife.
Oh, that's right.
The fisherman's ape.
Tagumo. There was an episode of Legends of Tomorrow. I sent you that picture.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, when they went, they were at some film studio in Japan. They were making a movie about giant, monstrous octopus. And then later, Nick Rory told him, stick to lizards or king. The king. King of the monsters. He was so happy.
I'm always happy when my boy gets noticed in pop culture. The best part of Ready Player One is the Mechagodzilla. It was way better than the other movie Mechagodzilla showed up in last year.
Until it continue, fellas. I'm letting all this out.
Oh, did I say Mechagodzilla showed up? I meant to say that they pretended to have Mechagodzilla show up in.
What about Cosmic Mechagodzilla?
Mechagodzilla tends to already be cosmic, at least in the original incarnation.
Okay. Cosmic Mechagodora.
Well, Mechagodora is from the future, so...
But that's not cosmic, though. That's just future.
However, there are... In video games, Mecha King Ghidorah tends to be from space, also.
That's right. Aliens are also a thing in those.
Aliens are very much a thing, and especially the Showa era.
Right now, my sick mind just went to, like, Mecha King Ghidorah from space, and the aliens planet are a bunch of Mexicans. Space Mexicans.
Well, I mean, since Brendan's not here, let's go off topic a bit. So, they made references to both the aliens who are normally attributed with Ghidorah and the ones that are attributed with Mechagodzilla in the anime films. And in the original Godzilla vs. Mechagodzilla, they were essentially apes from outer space.
So
no, try to guess what they did in the anime film.
But
They made them black people.
Oh God!
All of them.
So I have returned, and there's like a firework or something that went off outside, and it spooked Elvis.
Oh, poor Elvis.
Yeah. So I heard apes and black people.
I was
What the fuck?
talking about the anime films.
Oh, that garbage fire.
Yeah,
way to go, Japan.
We'll talk about those another day.
Way to go, Japan. Way to keep it classy. Way to pull a Toriyama.
Well, hey, that's not as bad as what some of the Disney films did early on.
Well, do you expect that?
Yeah.
Oh, please. Some of the South is tame by comparison to some other stuff.
No, I'm talking about blackface.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that was a thing. Shame on you, Disney.
Not only that, but what made the red man red?
I like that song, though.
So do I.
So do I. That's why it's a meme.
Besides,
So
There are some things that do.
who didn't do blackface back in the day?
So are we still on Kong, or are we like...
Yeah, we're still on Kong.
Okay.
So let's
Will we
talk
ever
about
see-
the monster action.
Will we ever see a
Sam
Mecha
Jackson versus King Kong.
step?
What?
You best step correct.
That's definitely better than whatever Glass gave us.
Also, anybody want to talk about how violent this movie is for a PG-13 movie?
This movie is violent.
Well, it has Samuel Jackson and
It
King
gets
Kong.
pretty. It gets close to just being straight up gory. How violent this movie is.
At points.
Yeah, like there's the scene where the pterodactyl-like things. They pick up one Hispanic guy, and the silhouette shows them tearing his arm off. There's the parts where the skull crawlers eat people, and like the blood splatter afterwards. This is a very violent movie.
You know,
Yeah.
that actually reminds me of something. When it comes to gore, somehow when they change the color of the blood, that somehow doesn't make it gory. Like, I don't know if you've rewatched Osmosis Jones in a while, but there's a scene where one of the, like a virus literally cuts open a guy, but because it's green, it doesn't count as gore.
Yeah, no, I've noticed that. Like, sticking, I guess, to kaiju, like, the Gamera Showa trilogy is very lighthearted, and it's essentially made for kids. It is gory as hell.
What if we were to...
It just doesn't... Most of the blood's not red, is the thing. It is a gore fest.
Thank you.
I think Gallus' big thing is getting his limbs cut off.
Yeah, and another thing, going back to DBZ, you know Piccolo's blood in the
Purple?
original... Well, it's purple in Z, but in the original Dragon Ball, it was actually red.
Huh.
So they actually changed that, I guess, to seem more...
Remember when they just got rid of it in the original localization?
No, I never saw the original localization.
No, I've seen some of the edits. It's hilarious. Like, anytime people died, they'd pretend they're still alive by just having them pant heavily.
That's stupid.
Yes. Or sending them to another dimension.
Or in
This is my favorite one.
finger guns.
That's Yu-Gi-Oh!
My favorite one, even though that was a joke from South Park, was when they replaced all those guns with walkie-talkies.
Wow.
No, that was E.T. that did that when they re-released E.T.
Yeah.
I still have not seen that.
I have only seen E.T. once, and it was when they re-released it. I have not seen it since.
I haven't seen that since I was...
So I have no idea whether I like that movie or not.
I haven't seen it, period.
It's been roughly 20 or so years since I last saw E.T.
I'd say, when did they re-release it?
2005.
I think it was before 2005.
It was before 2005 because the South Park episode that mocked that.
Because I remember seeing it when I was in Florida. I think I was like 5. 2002, I think?
Probably 2002 if you were 5.
Anyway. Yeah, Kong Skull Island kicks ass.
Yeah,
Yes, it does.
it's violent.
It's very well. The last monster scene, there are parts of the Godzilla climax I like better.
Mm-hmm.
Like, just the kick-assery in this one is just much more... Yeah, he had to leave right as I was talking. Again. This keeps happening.
Sorry, thirsty.
But yeah, the overall pace of this one's just a lot better in terms of the fighting. Because it's a little too slow in Godzilla 2014. Just a tad. Like, I mean, Godzilla fights are never like super fast-paced action sequences.
But
he's a giant. You expect him to move slow in certain parts.
It's not even that. It's just the pacing with getting to it.
Yeah, part of it's that they interspliced the humans a lot in 2014. Whereas when it came to the fight scenes, they barely interspliced the humans at all in Kong.
I actually do remember at points in the 2014 Godzilla, when the monsters were finally starting to fight, I remember sighing or going, come on, when they switched back to the humans. I wanted to see monsters rip each other's throats out. That's what I paid for, but instead I ended up getting more with humans.
I mean, here's the thing with Godzilla movies, is that's always going to be the case. There's always going to be a lot of human stuff in a Godzilla movie.
Ow. Daphne. Cat. So, how do you feel overall regarding the climax in Kong?
I just think it's awesome. Just not as awesome. But I think part of the reason it's so awesome in Godzilla is because, one, it's Godzilla. There's a lot more hype moments in that one. Whereas it's like in Kong Skull Island, I'm seeing Kong do things that I normally see Kong do anyway.
So, it's really nothing new as opposed to hype.
I guess.
The end credit scene, though, you were fucking
Oh, I was so
squeeing.
giddy.
You were squeeing at that.
Yeah, just see... I mean, because I had heard the news that they had retained the rights to Mothra, Rodan, and Ghidorah.
Yeah.
But just seeing that teased was amazing. Because it was... Yeah, that's probably my favorite end credit scene in anything.
Naturally.
Yeah, and Tom Hiddleston and Brie Larson are dead in that series now, because Kong took place in, the past?
It took place in the 70s. They might... If they're still alive, they're in, their 70s. But...
Not for much longer.
Yeah. Everybody gonna be dead.
Yeah, everyone's gonna be dead by the end of that fight.
Yeah, once the three-headed dragon shows up.
Don't scare the kitty.
I wasn't trying to scare a kid. That was just Nixon. Well, it was Ghidorah. Sounded like Nixon just getting ready to step on and eat everyone. Even though we know Rodan's more of a people eater.
Yeah, Rodan is more of a people eater.
Humans are a delicacy to Rodan. That or it's just his cheat day.
Yeah, Rodan is one of the few kaiju in the Godzilla series that has eaten people. There are a few more, but...
Now on to our discussion to that Kong versus Zilla. Or are we just gonna...
Yeah, let's talk about... Later? Well, we're gonna talk about... We'll probably talk about a few Kong movies before that comes out. Not all of them, mind you. I'll probably watch all of them before that comes out.
I've only seen...
but we'll talk about a select few. Specifically the main ones.
I've only seen 2005 in the original.
Yeah,
when it comes to Kong.
Yeah, we'll talk about the main Kong films when that one comes out. So, the original...
2005.
The 1977 version, which isn't that bad.
Skull Island.
Well, yeah, we'll talk about Skull Island again.
Yeah.
Probably in a little more detail than we're doing here, because this one's more Godzilla focused. Because Godzilla's coming out.
He's coming out of the closet. Because Kong just busted the door down for him. He's like, oof!
Save Mothra!
Why did you say that name?
It's Warner Bros.
Oh my gosh.
So let's just talk about quick predictions,
Hold
for what's about to happen in the future movies, and then we're going to talk about a Japanese Godzilla movie.
Hold on, no. You just mentioned Warner Bros. And Save Mothra, so I have to say that potentially this could happen. That when old Godzilla's just hopping around Tokyo City like a big playground, and then Batman will burst from the shade. Robert Pattinson Batman will burst from the shade and hit Godzilla with a bat grenade.
So Godzilla will get pissed and begin to attack. Didn't expect to get blocked by Shaq.
No, Shaq's
I didn't expect to get blocked by Kong.
But Shaq Fu just released not too long ago.
Nah. So that
anyway,
was my joke.
Well, let's just talk about, I guess, quick predictions.
Godzilla's gonna die.
No.
No, what if he did die, and he reclaimed his bones and built the Mecha Godzilla skeleton over that?
So you mean Godzilla against Mechagodzilla?
Yes.
I guess that's the thing that happens in this series.
Exactly the way I think I said it.
The series is wacky.
Megazord versus Mechagodzilla.
So, okay. The way I think it's gonna go down in King of the Monsters...
Oh, King of the Monsters. I thought you meant Kong versus Godzilla.
Well, we're gonna give a quick prediction about that too, but
I already gave my prediction. Godzilla's gonna die.
No.
That's how it happened in the original.
Godzilla didn't die, though.
He lost.
He lost, that doesn't mean he died. They both tumbled into the ocean and Kong went swimming back home.
Yep.
Godzilla later showed up after a hurricane swept him ashore. And then he fought a giant moth. And her twin babies.
Mothra looks creepy.
I like Mothra's design in terms of a more offensive or defensive thing.
No.
Because Mothra never... Okay, Mothra, oddly enough, has the highest win ratio against Godzilla.
Here's the thing, though. Whenever I see, like, Mothra's face, like, in the trailer with the little girl and her mother, I instantly think back to that episode of SpongeBob.
I knew you were going to say that! I was just about to pull up the photo, too!
With Wormy, and how it's a fucking wasp or a bee or some shit.
I think it was a fly, actually.
It was one of them, but it was fucking terrifying.
Yeah, no, that scared the shit out of me when I was a kid.
I instantly go back to that. Tristan, do not pull that shit up. I plan to sleep tonight.
Yeah, no, Mothra's always been weird to me because I like Mothra. But
God, yeah, that's a bee. That's a bee.
No, that's a fly.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. At least it's not a wasp. It's still scary though. Continue.
Mothra weird. Despite not looking like she could take on the King of the Monsters,
she takes on the King
she
of the
has
Monsters?
the highest win ratio against him.
one win compared to the zeros? That
No,
the other
she's
guy?
won, like, let's see, 1, 2, 3.
Count with Tyler, guys.
At least. Because they've only fought, like, 4 times. Like, actually fought and not worked together. Because a lot of times she shows up, they work together. But in terms of the times they fought, like, out of 4, she's won 3 of them.
Godzilla and Mothra will combine into a Mothzilla creature.
No.
And they will take to the skies and take out King Ghidorah and Rodan. Where Godzilla will fire his atomic breath, fueled by Mothra's mist or powder or whatever that is. They will take out
There will be
Rodan.
no
Angel dust.
I think they're called God Rays.
No. Angel dust.
Anyway, it's Kaiju Lee combining.
There will be no
Gogeta.
combining in this movie.
No, but why hasn't that actually happened already, though?
Because there have...
Back when it was starting to become cheesy.
Godzilla
They
versus...
could have done that.
Trust me, for all the weird Godzilla movies that do exist, there's about 3 weirder ones that didn't get made.
Like Godzilla and Mothra doing a fusion dance.
Bride of Godzilla.
Nope.
There's a script for that one.
Nope. 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 Nope.
He left the building.
Yeah. That was great.
No. Just no. No.
There's a script for it online.
For which one again?
Bride of Godzilla.
Nope. Just nope. No.
Well, we already have Son of Godzilla. This gotta make sense that there's a Bride of
No,
Godzilla.
it was supposed to be the 3rd movie in the series.
So, did someone build her in a lab?
Yes.
Beautiful.
And it's a human and it looks like a human. And she's actually a hydrogen bomb.
It reminds me,
Nope.
It reminds me of that one episode of Drawn Together.
Nope.
So, you're on board with that?
Yes, actually. No, that is still stupid. I am on board with Patamon taking to the sky, though.
Come on, hydrogen bomb wife.
So anyway, Godzilla, how's your sex life?
Well, he is. Well, as far as I'm aware, he reproduces asexually, or just doesn't reproduce at all, and there just so happens to be eggs of similar species lying around.
So
But-
basically, you have no sex life.
No, that's the Heisei God. The Heisei Godzilla's whole thing is that he's lonely.
I am
What a
so
story.
lonely.
What a
so
story.
lonely.
I mean, there are stories in which Godzilla's cells have been combined with. Specifically, one of my favorites, Godzilla vs. Biollante, is basically what happens when Godzilla's cells get mixed in with a rose.
So it becomes a black rose dragon.
Some
becomes-
say love.
You ever seen Little Shop of Horrors?
Oh, dear.
Little shop of horrors.
Think a
little
giant
shop.
crocodile
Little-
version of that.
Gimme.
It's a pretty awesome movie.
Gimme.
So, it has nothing to do with Bette Midler then.
No, it doesn't.
Some say love, it is a river.
No. There's no Bette Midler in this movie.
Damn.
In
Good
the arms
No,
of
act-
Sarah McLachlan.
the
Actually,
angel.
one of the things Michael Dougherty says he wants to do if he gets a chance to make another Godzilla movie is to either do Gigan or Biollante, and I was like, yes! Either one! Hopefully Biollante, because she only got one movie.
So, who's Gigan again?
Gigan's a giant chicken cyborg
Ah!
who has a buzzsaw right here
No.
and has hook hands and shoots lasers out of his eye.
No.
No, he's awesome, actually.
No, that is too
So
stupid.
he is way cool. No, it's not really a chicken. People just like to liken him to one. He's a weird alien space lizard, but cyborg. Gigan is a way better monster than any of the movies he's in. What?
I'm gonna need to...
New story that just came across my Google.
What?
What?
Stanley's former manager just got arrested on elder abuse charges.
That's
That's sad.
that's depressing.
Breaking news.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess real quick, also search Gigan and show him a picture of him.
Yeah, I can do that.
Still, back to what could happen in next week's movie.
Yeah, they said that the oxygen destroyer is in the movie.
Oxygen destroyer?
The oxygen destroyer is the device that was originally used to kill Godzilla in the first movie.
And they're gonna use it against Rodan.
No, they're going to use it against any monster.
Again.
I have a feeling it's going to get used on Godzilla. He's going to be weakened, and then he's going to somehow come back bigger and stronger than ever, and he's going to take down Ghidorah.
That's
Yeah,
when
but spell
Godzilla's
Gigan.
gonna evolve again.
What?
Spell Gigan.
Gigan.
Okay.
And that's how Godzilla's gonna evolve again.
Burning Godzilla's in the movie. They've shown him in some of the TV spots.
I think they're starting to show a little too much.
A little bit, but the movie comes out in a week. And Burning Godzilla is very special to me because I consider Godzilla vs. Destroya as the movie that got me completely into this series.
Don't you have that action figure, by the way?
Yes. Though, unfortunately, one of my dogs bit the tip of its tail off at one point.
Yeah.
I still have a Burning Godzilla action figure, though.
You're gonna take that with you, aren't you?
Oh, Gigan! Yeah, I remember him. Okay. Hold on. I got a slow phone.
Yeah, let me make sure you're showing the right picture.
Either way.
Yeah, that's the Showa design.
This is,
His Millennium design's badass.
this is what we basically
Yeah, that's the
have.
Millennium design. Show him that.
He does not look like a fucking chicken!
That's what people liken him to. I don't know why.
He looks more like a sea monster!
He's from space.
Oh.
There goes Mega Gigan.
Gigan's already a cyborg.
It's even more Mecha Gigan.
Final Wars.
Yeah, Gigan's cooler than any of the movies he's in.
You guys continue. I gotta put eye drops in my eye. This is the podcast where Guardian keeps leaving.
Yes. It's saddening. Especially because we're about to talk about one of the Japanese Godzilla movies, because we didn't have enough movies to actually talk about. So we decided to pick one that was relevant to this. At least a bit. What are you looking at?
Oh, nothing. I'm still looking at pictures of Gigan.
He showed up in an episode of Zone Fighter.
Neat.
As did Godzilla, and that's where they officially killed him in the Showa era.
That's sad.
The Zone Fighter episodes are better than the second movie Gigan was in. In fact, they were probably better than the first movie Gigan was in, too.
Someone did fan art of a Gigan for a Godzilla Pacific Rim crossover.
Alright. I'm back. And, I'm not crying. Really looks like it, though, doesn't it?
Yes.
So, where were we? Before I had to flush my eyes.
Well, I guess if our short little predictions are over, let's talk about our final movie.
Right. King Kong versus Godzilla.
No, we're not talking about that till before Godzilla vs. Kong comes out.
Ghostbusters 2036?
No.
Ghostbusters 2016?
God, no.
Godzilla... Ghostbusters...
The real Ghostbusters.
No.
Ghostbusters 2.
No.
That was my answer.
Stripperella.
Yes!
No.
That's a thing.
It was a nice thing. Not a very good thing, but it was a nice thing.
Yeah.
No, it's not good at all.
But it was fun to watch.
It was a thing.
It's guilty pleasurable.
Fun to watch.
Very.
I just realized what I said.
Very guilty pleasurable.
Oh.
You feel guilty after you pleasure yourself with it.
Well, it's an animated Pam Anderson. How can you not?
Anyway, no, we're talking about Godzilla, Mothra, and King Ghidorah, Giant Monsters All Out Attack. Often shorted to GMK.
Yeah.
Why are we talking about it?
Because it's awesome.
Because we did a roulette or a coin flip, and it was either this or Ghidorah the Three-Headed Monster, and it landed on GMK. So,
and also better for me because that's one less movie that I have to watch again. Because I remember GMK font vividly. I did not want to watch another Godzilla movie at the moment, because that would have just been too much on my plate with everything else.
Godzilla movies are only like an hour and a half long.
My point still stands. GMK. Who was the other monster in there?
Baragon.
Baragon. I like Baragon.
Everybody likes Baragon.
I want a Baragon plushie.
Too bad he doesn't show up too much.
Yeah, and he dies.
Yeah. No, there's actually a really adorable behind-the-scenes featurette, and they show parts of the actress who was in the Baragon suit, like when she was in the Baragon suit, and they would have the mouth open for the roar. Yeah. She would be like, rah, rah.
Oh, she sounds snuggleable.
Yeah, it's Baragon. How could it not be?
Which we like. Everybody loves to talk about how Baragon's the most adorable kaiju in the Godzilla series. He's one of the only other monsters that's known to eat people.
Yeah. Didn't King Ghidorah and Mothra team up to take out Godzilla in this?
Yes, so let me just quickly sum up the plot.
It was Godzilla on a killing frenzy. He just stopped giving a shit.
Yeah, but this movie's very strange, but in a very good way. Like, there's actually a lot of deep philosophical stuff in this movie.
Just skip the philosophical stuff, get right to the meat of it.
Yeah, okay, the meat of it is that Godzilla shows up, goes on a rampage...
Not Rampage, but a Rampage.
Stop mixing it up with the video game Rampage, Brendan.
I'm not mixing it up with the video game Rampage, Tyler. I'm mixing it up with the movie based off the video game.
Just because
I know what you were trying to do, and I continue ruining it.
Just because it uses the same word does not mean Rampage has been a word forever. Or not forever, but for a long time before that game or that movie came out.
Since the 70s.
At least since, like, the 1900s.
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 Anyway, continue.
Yeah, Godzilla shows up, goes on a rampage, and... The weird part about one of the weirder parts about this movie is that King Ghidorah is characterized as a good guy.
Which he should not be.
Yeah, the way I like to say it is like, this is like if Lex Luthor had to protect Metropolis from Superman.
There's an alternate universe with that.
Yes, I'm well aware.
It's called Injustice.
Yeah, this is basically Injustice Godzilla edition.
Injustice, Godzilla's among us.
I mean, not to say that Godzilla's always a good guy.
He's not.
But King Ghidorah's almost pretty much always, like, the worst of the two.
Which is why he's the bad guy in the new movie. Well, one of them. Rodan's probably going to eat a few people.
Yeah, Ghidorah's, like, the main kaiju enemy in the new one.
Plot twist?
And he's going to get his neck broken.
He eats Aaron Taylor...
He eats Aaron Taylor Johnson.
No, he eats Aaron Taylor Johnson's wife. He
finally not Elizabeth Olsen!
Yeah, he finally gets home to her, and then boom, she gets eaten. Baby and all.
Yeah, and then Godzilla likes the fact that there are other monsters like him, and the fact that he's
No, Rodan's not in the movie we're talking about. If we were talking about Ghidorah the three-headed monster, then we'd get to talk about Rodan, but we're not talking about that. So.
No, I'm trying to make a joke here about like King of the Monsters, where Godzilla sees that there are other monsters like him, but King Ghidorah is such an asshole that he has to snap his neck and he'll let out a roar of grief that he had to kill one of his own kind.
So that's basically what happens in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah.
And then down the line, someone's gonna meme that with the
Man of Steel stuff.
No, the Yoshi's Island music. Because
I was making the Man of Steel joke.
That's basically what happens almost exactly what happens in Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah.
Think they're gonna do that with King of the Monsters?
I don't think so, because there's like 17 monsters in this movie.
In King of the Monsters?
Yeah, in King of the Monsters. Only 4 of them get focus.
Oh, okay. Well, you'll be creaming your pants the entire time, won't you?
Yes, I will be. Especially because I already know that there's like at least 25 minutes of action in the movie.
Bring tissues.
I will be 2 seats behind you, Tyler.
I'll be right there with you, Tristan.
Okay.
But, GMK, Godzilla's an asshole.
Well, what do you expect in this movie? He is the amalgamation of all the dead soldiers, the dead Japanese soldiers from World War II, come to attack Japan for forgetting about their sacrifice.
And we'll leave it on that note.
Yeah, at least on terms of the Godzilla part. The action in this movie is awesome.
You want to be able to see,
especially
and very practical.
Yeah, especially for. I mean, compared to some others, it's got a bit more CG than some of the others. But I'd actually say this one's It's a lot more practical than Final Wars, especially.
But the thing is, with GMK, no one will be able to see Godzilla. He was possessed by all the soldiers of Vietnamese. They were Vietnamese. The force is talking. The force is letting atomic breath.
No, clearly it was Baragon who was the one who was the Vietnamese soldiers.
That is why he fell.
But no, if that was the case, Baragon would have won. Well, no, Godzilla's not American.
So I'm guessing that schedule-wise, next week it'll be King of the Monsters, and then the week after that we'll be going through all the X-Men movies.
Yes.
That's gonna be a long podcast.
Yeah, but back to GMK.
Damn it, I don't know why my eyes are so itchy today.
Yeah, do you want to know what part of the reason this movie's awesome is?
Because it's awesome.
Other than that, it's directed by the same guy who directed the Gamera Heisei films.
Nice.
Again, awesome.
Yeah, which those 3, like, when it comes to, like, my kaiju pantheon, I always look at, like, the first Godzilla movie, and those 3 Gamera movies are, like, the top tier for me.
So, with King Kong entering the Monsterverse, will it be immigrating into it?
We'll talk about that when we talk about King Kong movies about 8 months from now.
Okay.
Relax, Dolan. Relax.
What?
I said relax, dude. Relax.
No, it sounded like you said something else aside from dude.
Yeah, I thought you said Dolan.
I thought you said Dolan as well.
Either way.
You said Donald, didn't you?
Yes. Relax, Donald. Relax.
I just realized what he was saying.
But either way, I am looking forward to all this. But now I can't wait to see Gamera vs. Godzilla vs. King Kong.
I want to see that so bad, and it's never gonna happen.
Unless it's a fan film.
No, unless...
Speaking of, do you want to know what the only official Godzilla vs. Gamera thing that's ever appeared on film is?
Death Battle?
When Shusuke Kaneko put 2 action figures together.
Oh, I thought it was gonna be Death Battle.
but we can probably make that with Smash Brothers. Someone needs to play needs to play Donkey Kong, Bowser, and Yoshi.
King Kong versus Godzilla versus Gamera.
Let's do that today.
Call this on Donkey Kong.
I will be Yoshi.
Damn, we're gonna have to use the Joy-Cons for controllers, aren't we? Because I don't have mine on me.
You don't have your
You can
Switch?
play it. You can play it with the Joy-Cons.
Yeah.
Oh, you don't have the screen.
No, I don't have my Switch with me.
Oh. Well,
Is
go,
it over there or is that your mom's place?
It's in my house.
well, go get your Switch then, and we'll do it.
I'll go get at least the Joy-Cons.
I roar. We're easy.
Well, grab the Joy-Cons and the controller portion of that.
And I guess my copy, because I have a feeling neither of you have all three of those. Well, everybody probably has Donkey Kong.
I have Donkey Kong, Donkey Kong, Yoshi, and what was the third one?
Bowser.
And I unlocked Bowser as well.
Yeah, I got all three of those guys too.
Yoshi was one of the other
Well,
originals, wasn't he?
No, yeah, I'd unlock him.
No, I'm talking about since the first game. Yeah.
Oh,
You didn't have to unlock Yoshi in Ultimate,
I did.
because the whole thing with Ultimate's roster was that the first batch of characters were the original characters from Smash 64. And
Oh.
Yoshi was one of them.
Because I remember fighting Yoshi.
Yeah.
Well, you almost definitely fought him in Classic mode. This became a Smash Ultimate conversation. God damn.
Sorry.
Yes.
This is why we take note. We must start taking notes, people.
No, because if we take notes, it becomes scripted and something.
Well, it doesn't become scripted.
But come
And
on.
it definitely doesn't become boring. Some people probably get bored of us rambling.
That's true.
Actually, most people probably don't watch it because of that. But
Well, not our true fans. All 5 of them.
we must make more true fans. We will take notes from now on.
Or try to take notes. You can take notes during the movie. The second time you see the movie next week. I'm just going to continue ad-libbing. Well, I'll probably take notes for the X-Men movies.
Bowser and Bowser Jr. Bowser and Son of Bowser. And there's Peach, Bride of Bowser.
Oh my god. Really?
So we will put this GMK discussion on hold for another day, probably when we just talk about more Godzilla movies.
Maybe.
But
Honestly,
this is great.
we could probably do a whole thing on the Millennium Era alone, because it's only 6 movies in that.
This is great.
Yes.
Yeah. Next week we'll just be discussing King of the Monsters, because there will probably be a lot of shit to talk
It
about
worked
in that movie.
so well because Peach being Bride of Bowser, because her ass pretty bombastic. It's pretty explosive in that scene. The side B, pow. Wham, 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 wham.
So you're basically saying you like big butts and you cannot lie?
Those other birds cannot deny.
When Peach walks in? Yeah, I don't know the
With
rest.
an itty bitty waist.
And rub it in your face, it gets boom.
This became a reference now. Ah, my eyes. Always.
She's
the
got a
eyes.
nice peach.
Yeah, so I guess one day you can look forward to us talking about certain... We're not going to talk about the Showa era in full, because that's 15 movies, and some of them are hard to get through.
And I don't feel like watching all that.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll do separate videos for Heisei and Millennium, because that's 7 and 6 movies respectively.
Or you can do your own videos about each individual movie. Your own Godzilla-thon.
Yeah, I was going to at one point, but that's not part of like a podcast now, is it? That's not discussion. I like discussion.
Yeah, but then we would also need to watch those.
Well, the Heisei films are pretty awesome, and the Millennium films go from being awesome to being
Oh!
Carbo boy.
Of course.
What is it?
Hyralius.
Of course.
Well, of course.
So just end it here then.
I guess so.
Oh, crookie. Say Taiwanese.
Okay, we will.
Yeah, we got a lot more content out of this than we probably thought we would.
Most definitely, yeah. Yeah, don't you agree, Tristan?
We didn't even need to talk about GMK. We just got a ton of content from Godzilla 2014 alone.
And Kong versus Skull Island.
A pretty decent amount from Kong Skull Island, which will probably go more in depth in about 10 months. But no racist stuff.
Alright, so we'll see you guys when we discuss King of the Monsters.